This is Jeff Tavalacci, and this is my presentation for my Modern Learning Environment final project. The unit I selected for this project is quadratics and their graphs. I chose this unit as it's one I'm planning to teach in early to mid-February. My hope was to create a self-paced, mastery-based learning environment that could be run in person, hybrid, or completely virtual as needed. The target audience is high school Algebra 2 students that consists of 9th, 10th, and 11th grade students. Since we're covering so many different grade levels, I tried to create the basic structure that we could add to later in order to enrich all of the units for the different levels of students. This unit was created collaboratively at Ramsey High School using the backward design model. Although I edited some of the plans for use in this class, the bulk of the framework is what is currently taught in our district. The backward design model identifies the desired outcomes first and then chooses activities that aid in bringing the students toward that end goal. The big ideas that we will cover include multiple ways to solve quadratic equations, and those solutions and processes can identify important parts of its graphs. This unit is broken into 4 lessons. However, each lesson is taught over the course of 3 to 4 days. There are 12 essential questions that guide each new day of instruction. The organized structure of this unit appeals to logical, mathematical learners, while the use of modeling and instructional videos appeals to verbal, linguistic, and visual spatial learners. Downtime activities that focus on practicing a single skill appeal to interpersonal learners, while multiple skill group work activities appeal to interpersonal learners. Visual and auditory learners are engaged in our video modeling instruction, and writing learners are engaged in guided notes activities. In the past, at the beginning of every unit, the students were given one packet with all the skills that would be learned in order from start to finish. When the packet was done, the unit was done. Students had the opportunity to work ahead in the packet, but would have to wait to find out if they were doing it properly when the rest of the class caught up. The packets of old have been replaced by web-based documents and applications that provide immediate feedback to the student and alert the teacher should a student be falling behind. IXL can generate as many problems as a student needs to feel practiced. Delta Math is used at the end of a section as a mini summative assessment on an individual skill. A student may not advance to the next skill until the previous skill is mastered to a minimum standard. Having the unit laid out in this format, the student may access the material any time of day or night. More time is now freed up for the teacher to meet individually with students and monitor their progress. Lesson 1 begins at the bottom of the Bloom's taxonomy pyramid. Students recall factoring facts from the previous unit and build fluency and efficiency in understanding which factoring method to use. Factoring will be applied to their first method of solving. Completing the square and quadratic formula will be used when an equation cannot be factored. Students will then analyze which solving method is best from problem to problem. The unit will finish with a project where students will design, construct, and launch a water-powered bottle rocket. Students will use flight time data to then calculate the maximum height the bottle was able to achieve. The technology that will be used in this unit include Chromebooks, Google Sites, Docs, and Forms, Kami, Schoology, IXL, Delta Math, and Khan Academy. Content will be presented through direct instruction, modeling, and independent practice. Group work will also be used, and direct instruction and modeling can be either live or asynchronous. The material for this unit can be accessed anytime, day or night. Sense and meaning are critical in moving working memory to long-term memory. Building connections allows for this movement to happen much easier. Connections in quadratics can be seen in architecture, suspension bridges, and even projectile motion. Connections are also built in quadratics from year to year, as the topic is introduced in Algebra 1, reinforced in Algebra 2, and extended in pre-calculus and calculus. Connections are also established through similarities in procedures from unit to unit, as each unit is introduced in a similar pattern of first we simplify, then we solve, then we graph. The primacy-recency effect informs us that connections need to be built to new learning in the first 20 minutes to maximize student engagement. The downtime that follows new instruction is used to build procedure fluency. Independent practice in IXL or group practice in Kudasoft use repetition to create a sort of muscle memory. In Primetime 2, students will review the day's learning and prep for an individual skill mastery check in Delta Math. The ultimate goal for any unit is to create transfer. Transfer can happen within the unit, from unit to unit, and hopefully from the unit to the real-world application. Transfer within the unit occurs when a student can use the model and replicate it to solve a problem. Transfer from unit to unit occurs when a student recognizes that a current skill is similar to something that was done in a previous unit. And transfer from unit to the real world occurs when the student uses prior learning to a new and unique situation. Students will advance through this unit at different speeds. Those that finish the core activities early can explore some of the enrichment activities along the way. These enrichment activities act to engage different intelligences and deepen the understanding of the unit. Some students, those with IEPs or 504s, may not be required to perform every activity along the way. All sections can be tailored to allow students that need extra time the use of calculators or study guides. ELL students can use the closed caption language selection on all Khan Academy videos. Google Suite products also incorporate Google Translate.